everybody, welcome to the channel. Back to kind of, I guess, vlog style. We're in the truck, just went out and got some food. Went to Zaxby's. I don't know if everybody has Zaxby's or not, but it's a chicken place, and it's pretty good. It's not as good as Chick-fil-A, but it's pretty good. So what this video is going to be is the 1 year ownership of the Toyota Tundra. So I've done 3 months updates all up until now. I'm going to do a 1 year. Maybe I'll do a 2 year. I'm not going to do 3 months after this, but I felt like the first year I'd give y'all like quarterly updates on how the truck's doing and stuff like that. And this will be the last one of those. So I do want to say the truck is still doing great. There again, most of y'all know I've owned like 37 vehicles, and I've never owned a vehicle that I feel like was as good as this vehicle. Even my Tacoma and stuff like that did not feel like it had the quality build that the Tundra's got. And I'm not just saying that because, you know, I put a video up the other day. I'm actually being serious about this. You don't hear a lot of rattles or anything in this truck. It's heavy enough that the ride quality is really, really good. When you hit a bump, it has good enough, soft enough suspension. Even with the lift on it, you can feel that bump, but the weight of the vehicle really absorbs that bump nicely, and it doesn't jar you as much as the smaller, lighter Tacoma will do so. Now, I'm not knocking the Tacoma. I really like the Tacoma. I've owned one. It was a good vehicle, but I'm just speaking the truth as far as ride quality goes. This thing does have a much better ride quality. It has a better ride quality than probably anything I've ever owned. My F-150s were pretty close, but with the padding in this seat and the way the leather's so soft, the leather in my Tundra was a stiffer leather, and this is a more softer, suppler top, I guess, top leather. The ride is a little better in this than it was my F-150s, but those were the closest vehicles to the ride that I've ever owned. I've owned a lot of trucks, but a lot of them's been smaller. I've owned a lot of sports cars, which would, you know, definitely have a lot rougher rides. So that could be why the 3 trucks. But I have drove like Land Rovers and stuff like that, and I really feel like this is up there with the Land Rover as far as ride quality goes, in my opinion. Now, I've not drove a brand new Land Rover. This was a few years old, but in my opinion, this has a very good ride, and it goes right along with those. I do want to say I've had one problem with this truck. Now, I know I've had some minor problems. I've got a video I'm going to actually shoot today about a minor nitpicky thing. And that's just nitpicky. I mean, really, seriously, it's just nitpick stuff so far. But today I actually had an issue. The issue I had was my phone did not automatically connect to the Intune system when I got in the truck. Now, I've owned this truck for over a year now. This video should have been up a few weeks ago, but I was sick and I couldn't do it. You can still tell I'm a little bit raspy, but nowhere near as bad as I was. But it did not connect. That is the first time I've ever had that happen in a year. Now, I know Throb Nation has talked about that whenever he had his Tundra, that he had a connectivity issue and people couldn't hear him real well through the speaker when he got in his truck. Now, nobody's ever said they couldn't hear me or I sound like I echo or anything like that. I've never had that issue at all, but it did not connect today. I don't know why it did not connect. I went in and selected my name on, you know, the phone, and I'm the only person that has a phone connected to this truck. And I went in and clicked it, and it still wouldn't pair. I looked on my phone, it didn't even show the Toyota Tundra available. So I'm not sure if that's a phone issue or a truck issue, because the truck was showing Bluetooth was on, but my phone didn't show even a truck, my truck being available. So I'm not sure if the phone is just not receiving the signal or the truck is not putting out a signal. It could easily be either one, but I do want to say that is the first issue that I've ever had with that. But it is an issue, and I didn't like it. Now, of course, I do keep a plug, a little charger in the car. It has a USB port. Sorry. So what I did was I just plugged it up through that. And the reason I connect like that is because I listen to music off my phone through the Intune system. And that's the main reason I hook up Bluetooth. Sometimes I make phone calls, but I don't make a ton of phone calls, especially driving. But it is nice to have the hands free when you're doing that. But it was okay. I just plugged it up. Music worked fine after that. So that was my, my workaround. But it was still aggravating that didn't work. So I need to look into that a little bit. I even tried cutting the truck off and opening the door and make sure everything had shut down and turning the truck back on and see if it would connect then. It still didn't connect. That didn't fix it. Like I said, I don't know what the issue is. Don't know if it's the phone or if it's the truck, but I did want to tell y'all that was an issue this morning. But like I said, first time in over a year of ownership. Now, as most of y'all know, this truck is 2 years old. I bought it as a demo. It had about 14 or 15,000 miles on it. And it's got 29,725 on it now. So basically I put 15,000 miles on it this year. A lot of that has come driving to Florida. So I have a lot of seat time in this truck. I've took this truck to Florida probably 4 or 5 times. And one time was to Miami, which is a very long trip from Tennessee. And the truck done great. I mean, I've never, ever felt like I was in any kind of issue with this truck. I never felt like it was going to break down like some of my F-150s did. I never was any kind of fear of the truck not having plenty enough power or anything like that. The truck has plenty of power, even with the 35s on it. Whenever you, kick it into a lower gear, the truck just seems to just take off like a rocket. I mean, these things have a ton of torque and plenty enough power to get on the interstate. My wife always complains, I don't care about the gas mileage. I bought a full-size truck, and it is what it is. If I get 14 miles a gallon or I get 20 miles a gallon, it's a full-size truck, and I'm not expecting it to get the same gas mileage her Civic Si gets. So I'll take off down an on-ramp, and of course, I'm getting up to speed on the on-ramp to get on the interstate to just go ahead and merge, which you all should take note of that. I hate it when I get on an on-ramp and then somebody beside in front of me is running like 30 miles an hour and expects to merge onto an interstate where people's running 80. So, I'm getting up to speed. My wife's like, you just used a gallon of gas. That may be true. I mean, it very well may be true, but we still got on the interstate and it doesn't matter to me. So, like I said, gas mileage is what it is. You got to live with it when you buy a full-size truck. Now, will the new Tundras have better gas mileage? I've heard rumor they're going to have a lot better gas mileage. I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know if they're doing it with electric motors or what they're going to do it with, but I have heard rumor that they're going to get a lot better gas mileage. And if they get the gas mileage that they claim they're going to get, the big three might be in trouble. Because, I don't know, I've heard different rumors of like upper 20s, even 30 one time somebody said. That would be astronomical to get 30 miles per gallon in a full-size Tundra. That would definitely put a hurting on some of the big three sales, I do believe. I think the gas mileage is what does hurt the Tundra in sales a lot of times. And people think it's an old, outdated truck. In my opinion, that's what makes the Tundra the best truck on the market, because old and outdated usually means reliable. And that's what I was going for. So, like I said, the ride quality, awesome. A lot of seat time in this truck. Drove it to Florida several times. Couldn't ask for a better vehicle to drive on the road. And a lot of people that own these trucks will tell you the same thing. It's one of the best vehicles they've ever owned to take on long trips. Stop and go traffic. The brakes are good enough in this truck that I've never felt like I was going to hit somebody, even if you have to lock them down. Now, when you have to lock them down, that analog brake system comes on. It'll actually freak you out a little bit, but it's supposed to do that. So don't let that kind of scare you or anything. It's supposed to start shaking because it's shutting each wheel down, stuff like that. But it is always stopped with no issues at all. These brakes are awesome, and they're huge brakes, and there's no problem there at all. So stop and go traffic. You will hurt your gas mileage a little bit there, as you would expect normally, but it's a great truck to take on trips, even short trips. I love this truck more every time I drive it, actually. People don't like the Intune system. Other than today when it didn't connect, I don't mind the Intune system. Now, I'm not hugely tech savvy. I do buy the newest phones, but I probably don't use them good enough to actually to their potential. And that's probably why I like the Intune system, because it's easy to use. It's not confusing. They basically laid it out in layman's terms, which is what I needed. And it works great up until today. So I'll update you in a future video whether or not that was just a fluke or whether or not I've got a problem on one side or the other. And if I figure out the phone or the radio, I'll keep you updated on that. But as far as that goes, I don't have an issue with it. Now, mine did come with the JBL system, and I wish it was a little bit louder, but it's probably one of the better stock radios that I've had in a vehicle. It's pretty good. It's got decent highs. It does have tweeters and stuff like that. It's got decent highs. It does have a sub, so the lows are okay, and the mids are great. But I do wish it was just a little bit louder and maybe just a little bit more crisp. But as far as the factory radio goes, I feel like it's a pretty good radio. I've said this in plenty of other videos. The steering on this truck is the best I've ever been in my life. It is so easy to steer this vehicle. The power steering is perfect. I couldn't ask for a better power steering system in a vehicle. And I know I've said this a lot in other videos, but for somebody that's just now watching this video, I want to reiterate these things just because the power steering is so awesome. The climate control works perfectly. You know, even when you separate it and you don't have it synced, my wife a lot of times wants it colder than I do. I don't know why, but she'll turn it down low and her side will stay nice and cool and my side will stay a little bit warmer. So it is what it is, but it works perfectly as well. There's plenty of mods if you want to do it to your Tundra. I've done tons of mods to this truck, and if you're looking for a truck to mod out, this and the Tacoma both are great vehicles to do that with. So to sum this vehicle up, we've been going on about 12 minutes now. To sum it up, it's a great truck. It's a great truck. I've said that in other videos. I'll continue to say that until something happens. Like I said, the only issue I had, connectivity on the phone today, and it's odd that I was going to do this video today and then the connectivity happened 2 days. So I guess if it can happen, it will happen. But that is something I wanted to note to you guys and let you know I did have that issue, and hopefully that resolves itself. So in closing, if you've never drove a Tundra, I know there's a lot of guys out there that give me grief and said I should have bought American, and I did. But if you've never drove one and you're just saying this truck's better, that truck's better, I've drove them all, go out and drive a Tundra, find out for yourself. Tundra's one of the best vehicles on the road. It's tried, true, and reliable, and that's exactly what I was looking for. And these are pretty tough trucks. I know people that put them through the mill and tow a lot of stuff with them, and they just keep taking it. So, in my opinion, can't go wrong with the Tundra. 1 year ownership, it's been a great truck so far. I'd definitely do it again, and I have no regrets. Hey everybody, just an update. I told y'all I'd give you an update. I've drove the truck several times since I did the 1 year video. I turned this truck off 2 or 3 times, and the phone never would reconnect to Bluetooth. And then, you know, I drove it around, got out of it, got back in it. A little while later, heading to Walmart to buy some targets. Normally I order my targets, but I need them today, so I had to go to Walmart to get them, and the phone just reconnected, and I've drove it around some since then. I've had no issues. Now, I do want to say it leads me to believe it might be a phone problem. And the reason I say that, or maybe it's just a glitch on just that one day, but the reason I say that is my iPhone X never had that issue at all. But my XS Max that I just got about a month or so ago just had that issue. Now, people know I don't drive this truck a lot. I drive my Xterra most of the time around town, and maybe it's just the XS Max just had a glitch in it. I don't know, but I'm having no issues at all. Now, the phone synced automatically. My music comes right on. No issues, just like it was with the X. So hopefully that's resolved. I wanted to throw that in at the end of this video before I put it up, just to let you all know that that problem had resolved itself. But it's just funny and strange on the day I shot the 1 year ownership video that I had my first issue with the truck. That's a minor issue, but it's still an issue. And I always want to be honest with you guys and tell you if I have any issues at all. I'm not brand loyal. I do love my Tundra. If I start having issues with the Tundra, I'll tell you. But I think that's just a minor thing, a little glitch. I've heard other people having that problem, and hopefully mine has resolved itself and it doesn't continue to rear its ugly head. But I just wanted to update you all on that. Appreciate you all watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.